And welcome to another episode of the FitBod Blueprint. Phil and Tyler coming at you as always, but this time we have a slightly better rested version of Tyler. Man, glad to hear the
Yeah,
baby's doing well.
yeah. I guess it's been a couple of weeks since we last recorded. So yeah, I mean we were just talking before we started recording. Riley, sleeping through the night for the most part. I mean, still tired, but not as tired as we probably could be, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
like I've said, Ellie was not a great sleeper as a baby. Her being 5 weeks premature didn't help anything, so she didn't sleep through the night until right before she was 2. Actually, it was right before Jesse was born, so she was like 22 months. The first
swamp.
time she slept through the night, and then like 3 weeks later, Jesse's born. That was not a good stretch. I
I
mean, it
mean,
was, right?
at least she did it before Jesse came,
Uh, Dude,
or shifted in when Jesse was born.
it shifted again as soon as Jesse
Yeah,
was born because
yeah,
their rooms were initially right next to each other, but then our closet in our master bedroom was huge.
yeah.
So I ended up just one day taking his crib down, putting it up in our closet. And it was just such a huge closet that you could literally walk around the crib
We
perfectly
don't
fine.
have to call Child Protective Services.
Yeah. And he's also 5.5 and the size of a 7-year-old now.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, he'll,
yeah,
he'll beat, he'll, he'll beat the hell out of a CPS agent if they
yeah.
show up and try to take him away from his toys. Don't touch his Mario Karts. Okay.
Okay.
So no, dude, I'm so glad because when you're well rested, it just makes everything better. Like the days have more color. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, big time. I could actually like work out with some energy and have energy in the evening and the afternoon and feel a little alive to actually play and hang out with Quinn, right? So
Well,
it's good.
I was gonna say, man, like I was looking at your training on your Instagram reels, and like you can see it on you. That's why I asked
Yeah,
before. I was like, damn, either he's getting better sleep or Tyler jumped on the gas, but
yeah.
like
Well,
the
no,
bar is moving up quicker.
I've always kind of half joked. I'm jumping on gas once I hit 50. I'm going out jacked and tan, baby. Like let's go, right? Yeah, at that point, I don't care anymore. But no, I mean, it took a good. I mean, it really maybe not that long in true perspective, but about 4 weeks to kind of okay, like I'm kind of now back in a pretty good groove. And yeah, the last 3 weeks of training have been pretty fantastic, which is nice. It's good to have.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. So it kind of goes along with what today's topic is. You need energy to be able to do some damn cardio, and we're going to do another installment of Date, Marry, Kill. So, or Date, Marry, Eliminate. I'm not sure what we have to call it to not get our shit taken down by Spotify.
We don't want to
Uh,
get canceled.
yeah. So date, marry, eliminate. We'll just go with that one. And we're going to be talking on the topic of cardio. Now, there's different things that people will think of whenever they hear cardio, kind of the most common ones. And we want to go ahead and say we're going to lump steady state cardio, like the low intensity, the list cardio with steps. So whenever we say steps, that also is inclusive of lists, HIIT cardio, high intensity interval training. And then this last one might ruffle some feathers because a lot of people won't necessarily think of this as cardio, but like it's certainly not resistance training. And that would be group fitness classes.
Yeah. So think,
So like
your Zumba, your what else? I don't know what like your
Pilates,
classes,
boot
body.
camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're,
CrossFit.
we're going to just like lump all of those in as one. So if you're like a diehard Pilates person, you're like, it's not cardio. I guess just deal with
Okay.
it. That's our opinion. Okay. If that's how you
I
want
think
it, if you want to feel something else, that's fine. But we're meatheads. We're
yeah.
bros. Okay.
If
We
I
either
lift
lift
more
heavy
than
shit
10 reps,
or
it's
cardio.
cardio. Yeah, more than 10 reps is cardio.
Damn shit. I come from a powerlifting background, baby. More than three. triples. I can't count higher than that.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. So let's start off with the date. Okay. And
sure.
for those maybe listening for the first time, date is just like, hey, we're having some fun for a little while, but this isn't going anywhere long term. Which one are you going to date?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go with steps or low intensity cardio. You know, just I mean, it's probably though my main mode of cardio that I get nowadays, but just that's due to life circumstances. But I think just because it can be the easiest to do for anyone, really, and it can be up to a certain point very easily scalable, right? Like, I mean, if you get someone, you're talking like, yeah, I get an average of 1,000 steps a day. All right, cool. Like, that's going to be really easy, depending on your schedule, to bump up and get a bunch of extra activity in a day. Like, that isn't a hard thing to do. And it's yeah, again, it's very low point of entry. You're able to kind of maybe get outside, go for a walk, get on a treadmill, whatever, right? Like it's again just something easy. It can be okay for some fat loss, but again, I think it comes to a certain point, it does become a point of diminishing returns slash pointless. My rule of thumb for a lot of people is like if you're getting anywhere between 5 and 10,000 steps a day, you're already doing more than probably 80% of people, and you don't really need to do a whole lot more. So
Mhm.
that's going to be my date just because it's easy, but at a certain point, it does become redundant. And it is boring. Like, I mean, I know you and I have both been there where, I've been in a prep before and I'm doing almost 2 hours of steady state cardio a day. And like, that's boring as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, like,
Yeah.
there's no amount of movies you can watch or podcasts that you can listen to actually make that interesting.
100% valid point. There's only so many things you can do during long sessions of steady state. So I'll go ahead and jump on to my date. And this one's really hard for me to go with for date because I enjoy it. You know what it is? It's like if you were dating a person that you go, man, if just one thing could change, like we're having a lot of fun together
Yeah,
right now. Everything is good. We laugh, we have great sex. Like my friends get along with you, I get along with your friends. Like everything just feels really good, but is there the longevity, right?
yeah.
That's where I'm at with HIIT cardio. Now I
Okay.
enjoy HIIT. My favorite way to do HIIT cardio for the last year or so has been I bought a 40-pound medicine ball and I
Yep.
just do over the head medicine ball slams as fast as I can for time.
Yep.
I love it. It's not wearing and tearing at my feet like doing actual sprints would do. It's not like I love doing wing gates on the bike where you crank the resistance, but there's that delay for the resistance to actually kick in. So it might be like the first 3 to 5 seconds, depending on the bike. There's always like little things with other
Okay.
modalities of hit, but I love medicine ball slams. I love kettlebell swings. Those are like my two main ones on the
Yeah.
personal side. I think the problem that I have is recovery is really demanding for hit
Yeah.
cardio. So like if I had to just pick that one thing, like, oh baby, if you could just change this one thing, I'm popping
Yeah.
out the ring. We're gonna lock it down.
Yeah.
It would be the recoverability of it
Right.
because whenever I do hit cardio, like I've got to really be cautious about when am I doing my legs next? Because like I'm having to squat down as fast as I can, pick the ball up, slam it down. It's a full
Yeah.
body workout. I can't really go doing Bulgarian split squats and step ups the day after doing hit. Or if I've done hit and I did Bulgarians and step ups the day before, I'm kind of boned. I gotta really pick my day.
Yeah.
The other, I think, slight thing, and this isn't really for me, not to like, I don't know what you call like fit brag or fit
Yeah.
shame, or I don't know. Somebody's going to come up with a term, but
Yeah.
this isn't a problem for me, but as a coach, what I worry about whenever I assign hit cardio for someone is I can't just give it to everyone
Yeah.
because there are some people that this isn't the right place to go.
Yeah.
If you've not worked out, if you aren't conditioned as far as your cardiovascular conditioning goes, if you don't have some degree of conditioning, you're used to moving around, used to doing something physically challenging. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be like one of the jackasses from Biggest Loser and cause somebody to have freaking rhabdo because I said, "Hey, go sprint." I also have to keep in mind if somebody doesn't have access to the same things I do, like the medicine balls, like the kettlebells, can they do something that is low impact overall, but still physically intense? So for me, that's why I'm going to go with just date, but we're going to date for as long as we can.
Yeah.
Like if it ends up being like a 20-year dating thing, so be it. Like I'm not having kids with HIIT.
Your
Not
common law.
until one thing changes.
Yeah. Yeah. Your common law.
All right. So what's your Mary?
So, I mean, I am going to go Mary with the hit. And I mean, yeah, those are definitely all valid points and certainly things that are always going to be important to consider. But I do kind of come from it at a point where for the most part, I think a lot of the pros are worth working towards, that type of like cardio, whether you're in a dieting phase or not, just due to the health benefits of just increasing your VO2 max, increasing your mitochondrial capacity, so just your ability to do work, and that's going to have some really good transferability just even into your weight training. If we're coming at it from a fat loss perspective, there's really nothing better just in terms of the amount of time necessary, right? So we kind of when I talked about list the redundancy and the time that can be used. You do HIIT 1, 2 times a week, 20 minutes a session, you're gonna be in a pretty good spot, right? And so, yeah, you do have to be somewhat picky, but your bang for your buck is there, and I think too, like it can be the most fun, right? Like a lot of people, if they come into a workout, a lot of times they just want to get their ass kicked, right? Well,
Yeah.
it's not really going to be anything that gives you that feeling of getting your ass kicked than going and doing a hard hit session.
Oh, dude, that right there, just sidebar. The fact that she is upset and what's going to make her feel better is daddy. That
Yeah,
is
we're
one
having,
of the most like
we're
little moments possible of fatherhood.
yeah, we're going through a hard time of listening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if you could hear them in the background screaming at each other.
You know what?
We
Who
might have
cares?
we have to cut this out.
Who cares though? This is part of the reality, right? Of
Oh,
like,
yeah,
especially
totally.
you've got kids, you're going to have moments if you work out from home like I do, where it's like, okay, here I go, 7, 8, and then here's a kid, Dad,
Yeah,
I need this, or
yeah,
just they're fighting with each other, or the dog puked or something.
yeah,
Like, dude, see,
yeah,
like, look, people, we're
yeah,
parents, we get it.
yeah. We get
That's
it. Yeah,
why we always take a no judgment approach
yeah,
whenever we're working with anyone, regardless of if you're a parent or not. We understand life's going to happen and life's going to throw you curveballs. But
yeah. Exactly,
I, I
exactly.
love, I love your logic for why you're going to marry hit. There
Yeah,
is a lot to be said for increasing your VO2 max, increasing your mitochondrial capabilities. There's a lot to be
yeah,
said for that, and the time benefit too, right? Like, look, I can burn the same amount of calories in a 20-minute, like, true high intensity training session as what I could in an hour on a treadmill. There's definitely something to be said for that.
yeah. And I mean, with like, resistance training, it's very easily scalable, right? Still within a 20-minute time frame, right? So it's like, okay, well, whatever. I went, let's just call it, I don't know, 3 miles in that 20 minutes with my 20, 30-second sprints. And now that's starting to become easy. All right, well, now we can either up the resistance or we can go do something a little bit harder where maybe we were doing an assault bike. Man, let's go do some battle ropes or this
The
you use your
skier,
hands,
yeah,
right?
the
And you're
skier.
like you're skiing. So I mean, so maybe people don't know, but when you're using your upper body, and because it's like the smaller musculature, it requires actually a bit more oxygen. So it's going to be a lot harder actually than, let's say, a salt bike, right? I mean, it can be maybe subjective, but like it's very easy to go and do different modalities as things maybe get a little bit easier. Or if you are sticking with, again, let's just use the assault bike for example, is very easy within that same time frame to continually make it harder without having to add a bunch of time. So yeah, for people who just don't want to spend a lot of time in the gym or don't have a lot of time to spend in the gym and do a bunch of cardio, this is just going to be, I think, something that is going to be kind of not necessary, but can really work well in your favor. And I think too, even for someone who is out of shape, you can build into that, right? You can go at their pace because HIIT for me is going to look, yeah, a lot different for someone who hasn't moved in a long time. Now, certainly I'm not going to take someone who's brand new or hasn't done anything in 20 years and just throw them into a HIIT protocol. But it's, hey, you know what? Let's start off with a 20-minute bike ride, zone two, zone three, and then we maybe add in one sprint, right? 20-second sprint. And then you start to build it from there. And so again, you can kind of scale it up and down to that person's cardiovascular um, level. So yeah, and yeah, for me, it's the most fun. Growing up playing kind of a sport that is a lot of HIIT in hockey, that is just where I'm gonna have the most fun with it too. Like if I don't do a lot of cardio, if I'm gonna have to do cardio, I'm doing something that it's gonna crush me but get me in and out.
And I think that's another big key for all of this is just doing something that you enjoy. So
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't really think about how intense a shift is in hockey because you are just go.
yeah. 30, 30, 45 seconds.
Yep.
That's it.
And there's a reason why they have such short shifts is because you're going all out and then it's okay, back on the bench, shift
Yeah,
change. So finding something that you enjoy, right? Like me, if I had the space again, I would absolutely be doing sleds
yeah,
because it reminds
yeah,
me of playing football whenever I was a kid.
yeah,
Like what I loved about football wasn't playing in the actual games every Saturday. What I loved about playing football was the practice.
yeah.
Like I know they've done away with the Oklahoma drill,
Practice.
but like there was always something to be said about that. And it's like, hey, I'm working on agility, doing some cone drills, or I'm working on this, doing the agility ladder, or I'm working on just being able to shift and get a quick turn at the hips. But it's all stuff that you're doing at your absolute max effort, just like one time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're resting, and then it's your turn up again. So there is absolutely something to be said about that. For me, why I'm going to go marry with steps more than lists kept into consideration. I just
Okay.
love being outside. And for me, goes back to what I just said. Find something you enjoy. I am very fortunate. And if I was still in Florida, I wouldn't be picking, I wouldn't be picking step/list because
Yeah, no.
it's hot. It is hot. And this is somebody that I spent 35 years in Florida. Okay. I did not enjoy June, July, August, September, where it is upper 90s, super humid. I mean, go outside and you hear Shrek go, "That's my swamp." Like I'm good. Okay. Now that we're in Tennessee and we live in a neighborhood with sidewalks and I can walk all over. I love it. I love the weather. I love being outside. We're very fortunate. I'm a 2-minute car ride away from the Greenway, which is just
Yeah,
miles and miles and miles. Like I don't fully know it yet,
yeah,
but I know you can literally go from one city to another city basically on the Greenway Trail. So I love that I can just go outside and, oh, hey, here's a nice creek. Here's some cool trees, get to see a little bit of foliage. Didn't get
Yeah.
that back in Florida.
Nope.
So I love my steps. I love
Yeah.
being outside. I love getting a little vitamin D. Just being out in nature makes me feel great. And
Yeah.
I love a good hiking trail. So for me, I'm going to pick that just out of personal preference.
Yeah.
And then that leads us to we have obviously the same eliminate being group fitness classes. So Tyler, kick us
I
off.
think should preface to say that really this is coming. I mean, we've said it already, but again, this is just personal preference. Like you're not going to catch me at a Zumba class because that is just not my personality. But if you love those and that's what gets you going and gets you moving, movement is movement. I don't know how many times I've had this discussion with clients of like, well, I do whatever. I do a pole class or I do a spin class. Like, is that okay?
Aerial, gymnastics, whatever.
It's like movement is movement. I don't care. As long as you're moving and happy. We need more of that, not less, right?
Yep.
We don't need to gatekeep cardio. But you're never gonna catch me at one of these things. It's just, I'm more of an introvert, so that's certainly part of it. I'm not probably very coordinated on the dance floor. And I think sometimes too there can be a little bit of that, cultish around it where, that's all that I do. And maybe there's some, misinformation of like, okay, well, I'm doing this 45-minute HIIT class. Well, that's not a HIIT class. And two, lifting 5-pound dumbbells for 45 minutes is not actually going to get you the physique you want. And so there does have to be a little bit of that reality check with it in that sense, especially if those are your goals. There has to kind of be that discussion. But yeah, it just really comes down to personal preference. And if you love it, please just keep doing it. But just know that, hey, if you have some other very specific body composition goals of wanting to build some muscle, there's probably going to be some better ways of doing it.
Yeah. So I love that you brought up the cult aspect of it. And this isn't me like trying to joke or be funny. One thing that I hear on a lot of my initial consultations is people say, well, I used to do this group fitness class, 5, 10 years ago. Everything was all good. I really enjoyed it. But, then life got a little busy and I don't feel comfortable going back there because I feel like maybe I look different than what I did before. If an environment makes you feel like you're not welcome because you missed some classes or maybe you need to take a break, is it really that positive of an environment?
Yeah.
My other problem with it can be, like you said, if one person who's kind of the dominant personality of the group tends to lead what others are doing, there can be bad misinformation like, oh yeah, well, hey, I achieved this because I take this class and I also do keto or I'm vegan or I'm this or I'm that. Look, at the end of the day, just because that worked for them doesn't mean that's going to work for everyone. And that's my other issue with it for a lot of people is that these group fitness classes are, for the most part, kind of one size fits all. There might be a couple of modifications based off your fitness levels, but usually it's like, hey, if you're a beginner, do this. If you're more advanced, do this. And it's like, well, hey, is that really beneficial for that person? Now, group fitness classes can be wonderful because they can give somebody who likes more of that team side of things, it can give them what they're looking for, a little bit of team camaraderie, right? I will say one of the most pumped up workouts I've ever had in terms of like motivation and just really being into it was whenever I did a CrossFit class that somebody invited me to. And I was like, man, this is actually really kind of cool. Like people are cheering each other on, they're clapping for each other. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up doing a pretty nice clean. I can't remember what it was, but I remember I was shocked that I was able to do it. And if I'm perfectly honest, I would not have gone for that weight on a clean, having not done one in years and
Ever.
years and years. I would have not gone for that weight. I shocked myself and I only did it because I did have other people going, yeah, come on, man, you got this. The weight flew up a lot faster than what you're really thinking. Like, go for it. You got it. 10 more pounds. There are benefits to it.
Yeah.
Now, my thing just goes back to what is somebody going to enjoy? I have lots of clients that they enjoy doing aerial classes or Pilates or yoga or Zumba or, uh, pole classes, whatever. And that's all fine. If you enjoy doing a boot camp class on Saturday mornings because you've had a stressful week and that's a nice way that you can start your weekend off, like that's what my neighbor does. She
Yeah,
loves it. It fills her cup right as her tank's starting to run on empty and it keeps her aligned with her goals. Then I love it for you. Me personally, though, I mean, maybe like if I were to get back into actual boxing, but that wouldn't be a group environment. That would just be one on one with a trainer. I'm personally going to take the pass on it. It's not that they are inherently bad. They will
yeah,
burn calories, but there's just some elements that personally I'm not a fan of. Now, the other thing, just getting my thoughts out, is that you don't necessarily do the same thing every time, and that can be a pro or a con for you. I like seeing, am I progressing? And if the workout is changing every single week, then how can I really tell that I'm progressing?
yeah, yeah. I think just kind of one thing that you touched on that I think is a big positive though is that group atmosphere. Like going and lifting weights is usually a by yourself endeavor, and it can be, especially if you're someone new, it can be very intimidating. It can be a little lonely, and I think you do have to spend a lot of time training to understand and learn how to lift, I think, to your max, right? That's a learned skill. And so yeah, being in that group environment though can kind of help eliminate a lot of those things as you're getting maybe into it, where okay, it's a little less intimidating, there's more people, you're all here for the same purpose. And so yeah, I think that's certainly a big positive because a lot of times, yeah, like we won't have a lift, it's hard to find a lifting partner, right? Because I know myself, like I'm going to be pretty picky because one, I go at certain times. Two, I
Yep.
lift in a certain manner. And then three, like I also don't want to waste my time there. I don't want to be just standing around talking. I'm here to lift. And so, yeah, again, it may not be what we would choose, but there's still going to be a lot of positive benefits. And so, yeah, if you are someone who is just getting started and wanting to get started and feeling a little intimidated or what have you with going in and machines and dumbbells and things like that, like a group class that maybe is teaching some of those basics, that can be a great start, right? And can be like a fantastic way to start getting into just a gym atmosphere and just being comfortable just going to the gym and doing some type of activity.
Yeah. 100%. All right. So, Tyler, how much more time you got here until you got to leave?
I'm good. They've already left for kindergarten, so I'm good.
Okay. So let's do this before we move on to Would You Rather. Let's pick our Super Bowl predictions now. We're headed into week 2. Let's pick our Super Bowl predictions.
Okay.
All right. So let's start
Okay.
with AFC Championship.
Oh, man.
Who do you think's going to make it there? Who do you think's going to win on the AFC side?
Well, I don't know my AFC, NFC very well. So let me just quick. As much as I've watched football, I could never just remember like who's NFC, who's AFC.
Oh
So
man, I've
I
got
know
that like
I'm
memorized.
sorry.
If one like I have it memorized to the point of the next time there's an actual expansion in the league, it's going to really throw me off because it's
Okay.
been roughly the same now for 23 years.
I
But
mean,
oh, I'll probably have dementia one day and still be
yeah.
able to rattle off AFC, NFC from like 2002 to whenever they get more teams.
So I'm gonna go Bills or the Ravens. And I mean, obviously, I know the Ravens just lost to the Bills in that just absolutely
Ooh,
amazing, amazing game. But those two, I think, I mean, just quick looking here, like those are the two titans of the AFC. Like, I feel like everyone else, like certainly there's going to be some good teams, but I don't think anyone's gonna kind of stack up to that level of experience and just how well they're put together. I mean, I don't know how you stop Henry on the
ooh.
Ravens. I mean, again, he kind of got. I mean, he fumbled. That was really his worst play of the game that night. But yeah, I've got those two. If I had to pick between, oh,
So you're calling
That
for a rematch from week
I
one Monday Night Football.
I
I
think
like it. I
so.
like it.
Yeah. I just think it is like looking at all the teams, I don't see anyone being able to top either of those two teams.
So you think that Mahomes and the Chiefs supremacy stops this year? Okay.
I think so. I think everyone's kind of yeah. Everyone's going to be gunning for them. Everyone's going to be bringing their best. I mean, doubt Mahomes at your own peril, but I think they're on the downswing. Granted, I also don't know football like you do. Like I don't know if they've downgraded in wide receivers and running backs, and I don't necessarily know how good their defense is this year. But I mean, it's hard to continue to repeat in any sport, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just the nature of the beast. So
They did lose some key players, and honestly, like, okay, Kelsey's getting starting to he's starting to get up there. He's still
yeah,
a really good tight end, but he is starting to get up there. His age is catching up with him.
curves are a real thing.
Yeah. Plus now he's got a wedding to plan for the future Mr.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, why? I mean, he's got a sugar mama. He doesn't need to work.
Sugar Mama. I gotta get
So,
me one of those.
maybe that's actually what propels them is he's just playing for the love of the game now, and so now they're gonna kill it, right? So
Like I like your prediction on the AFC side, Bills Ravens. I am honestly torn. Here's my thing. My heart goes out to the Bills fan base for for them to have gone to 4 in a row
yeah,
and lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I will always want to see the Bills pull it
yeah,
off, but
but
my gut is telling me that we're going to get an AFC championship, that it's going to be a division rivalry game of
okay,
Bengals and Ravens.
I
That's my
go,
gut. My gut is saying one
hey,
of these two teams is going to make it in as a wild card,
I think
and
Burrow can
they're going to
finally
run the gambit. Like I love Joe Burrow.
win. Okay,
The problem is just the Bengals defense. They can't stop anybody last year. I mean, maybe things improved this year for them, but Burrow, he looked so good. I think that this is going to be a big leap year for him. I think that Lamar is just the best all around quarterback. He's got the arm, he's got the athleticism, he's a leader, he makes great decisions. I'm going to go with Bengals and Ravens, and I'm going to take Ravens into the Super Bowl
okay,
for my
okay.
AFC side.
I can see that. I can see that.
NFC. So okay, who are you picking? You're picking Bills and Ravens, but
Well,
who do you think?
Bills.
Bills. Okay, and again, my heart, my heart's
No,
there.
Ravens because I think they have a better running game.
All right, so on the NFC side, I think this one gets it's a little bit more of an open field because I can
Yeah,
make an argument for pretty much at least one team from every division of the NFC.
Cowboys.
Yeah, right.
I had to. I had to. I would want to say Eagles. I think that I mean they're still that powerhouse. I mean, obviously Green Bay now with Micah Parsons, like that defense just got a huge boost. It's just I think a matter of can Jordan Love just keep growing. But I mean, I guess I gotta say your Bucks. But you know, they're I mean Baker Mayfield, he can still sling it. I don't know about their defense. You can tell me a little bit more. I mean, the
Dude, the
NFC West,
defense,
I think is just a right, especially with all the San Francisco injuries now. So I think I'm gonna go just because I think it would be a fun one to watch. Would be like Eagles and Pack.
so
I'm
you're
gonna
going
go
Eagles.
Eagles.
You're gonna go Eagles with the win. So you're going for Super Bowl as a battle of the birds.
Yeah.
All right, so my NFC, yes, part of it is just me being a homer. I'm gonna go with the NFC Championship this year. Ends up being Buccaneers
Okay. Yeah.
versus Lions.
Okay. You think they can still bounce back?
Oh yeah,
I'm okay.
yeah. That was a stacked team last year. I mean, they're
Lost their OC Ben Johnson. That's I mean I don't just because I kind of follow and that's all I see. Like I don't actually know if that makes that big of a
Here's my
difference.
Here's my thing. I really don't think that losing your coordinator is as big of a thing as what it was years ago, because for the Bucks, like, we're on our third straight offensive coordinator in 3 straight years. Like, Mayfield's not had the same guy come back because they keep getting
Yeah,
poached. Liam Cohen, Dave Canales. It's like, hey, do you still have the same keys in place? So for
yeah.
me, I look at my Bucks, and here's my argument for I really think this is our year again. This is Mayfield's third year where now he's getting in more and more rhythm with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Godwin's out for the first couple of weeks, but then he's coming back. Throw in our rookie who had a stud game. I told so many people, get Emeka Egbuka in your fantasy draft. He put up 2 tutties in his NFL debut. He is a pro-ready receiver that he can play. He can play outside. He can play slot. He can play anywhere on offense. He can line up anywhere as a receiver. Doesn't matter. He can be a 4, he can be a 5. This guy can do it all. He's got great size, he's got great speed, incredible hands, his ball awareness, his ability to read and break down defenses and defenders. It's something that a 10-year vet would admire to be at. So we just added him. We got Rashad White, we've got Bucky Irving in our backfield. Our offensive line, once Wirfs is healthy again, possibly this week, where that's the best, like, top 2 rated left tackles in the NFL last year.
Left tackle is very important if for those who don't watch football.
Well, what's impressive is that he moved from right tackle, where he was the number one ranked. I'm pretty sure he was number one ranked in Pro Football Focus as right tackle, and then we moved him to left tackle, and he was still at least top 3 last year. Our offensive line came back in every other spot, so we've got consistency on our line. Cade Otton is rock solid as a tight end. We've got O'Keefe, we've got Payne Durham, I've got 4 tight ends basically that are all really phenomenal. Dunlap, I think. I'm blanking on his name. But then on the defensive side of the ball, you got Vita Vea, who's 350 pounds. You've got Kalijah Cansey.
How
You've
big
got
these guys are.
Elijah Cansey right next to him.
Yeah.
That he's coming into his own also as a defensive tackle. We brought in Hassan Reddick from the Eagles to secure up the edge. Like, we've got good talent on that defensive line. Our linebacker, I'm not so sure about Savasier Dennis. Like, he was the one that blew up on that touchdown that Bijan Robinson scored there in week 1. He completely just had the absolute wrong angle. The angle he was coming at makes no sense. So I hope it's just him getting essentially some rookie learning out.
Yeah.
But we've still got Levante David. And then in the backfield, Anton Winfield Jr. is one of the best safeties in the league. Zon McCollum is going to be our long-term solution for cornerback. Jamel Dean is serviceable at cornerback. Basically, I see it as we've got a really rock-solid defense. My only question mark on my team is our kicker, because he choked. But last year he was great, so I'm hoping it was just a one-game.
They're kickers.
They're superstitious. They're kind of weird characters. Like,
They're like the goalies of the NHL. They're a little weird.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with NFC Championship, Bucks, Lions. I'm feeling the Lions. I feel like this is going to be their year. I like us versus anyone. There is nobody that I'm looking at on our schedule that I view as unwinnable. So if it's Ravens Bucks in the Super Bowl, like 2000, Phil is very happy because those were my 2 favorite teams at the time.
Yeah.
So, and I can't go against my Bucks.
Of course not.
So I'm going to give the homer answer. I really think this is my Bucks year.
Right?
But if not, Ravens, they look so dominant until that Henry fumble.
Yeah. I'd like to see DeAndre Hopkins win a Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
That guy was money in Texas for so long, so it'd be nice to get him one. But I do like the Detroit Lions pick for the same idea that you talk about, like the Bills, the fans, right? Like, we've just been so dog shit for so long, right? And like, Thanksgiving comes around, you're like, I gotta watch the Lions, and now you're like, oh, I gotta watch the Lions. Like, they're actually exciting.
Again, like, my heart breaks for Lions fans because you had Stafford and you had Megatron at the same time, and just the rest of the team around them. You had, I'm trying to remember the GM, it was Mike Millen, that just kept drafting receiver after receiver after receiver with the first round pick. Like, I think it was they drafted two different guys. I think both named Mike Johnson.
Okay.
Like
I don't.
they drafted two different guys. Like hang on, Detroit Lions first round picks by year. Yeah, I'm trying to hang on. I got this. I got the
Boy,
because I'm curious now. Charlotte. Roy Williams, Mike Williams. Okay. It was two different receivers named Williams within like, yeah, literally back to back years. They went Roy Williams, Mike Williams. Like, God bless them. They kept trying with receiver, but it was like, hey, finally
close
got
enough.
Calvin Johnson like 2007. So, anyways, all right. Would you rather? So we're in with our classic here. Would you rather have unlimited gas for your car, but you can never drive faster than 55 miles an hour, or you can drive as fast as you want anytime and you'll never get a speeding ticket?
Man, gas is expensive. Up, especially up here. I know we do things in different units, but it was like $1.80 a liter this last week, which is probably like, I don't know, $5-6 a gallon, something like that. So hey, as long as I'm getting to point A to point B and I've never got to pay for gas again, I'm gonna be okay with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the unlimited the free gas forever as well. Yeah, just because I drive a Wrangler. That thing is as unaerodynamic as possible. It's literally a
Yes,
box.
yes. That
I
thing
go
was
for miles.
really, yeah, created to look cool.
I go for miles per gallon, not miles per gallon. All right. Thank you all very much for listening. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, give that subscribe button a big old kiss on the mouth. And if y'all ever have anything at all that you need from us, you'd like a free metabolic assessment, go ahead and head on over to fitbodinstitute.com. Let's get you working towards your goals. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.